Yesterday, stocks tumbled after a record 8-day gains in the market. The Fed warns that China's real estate problems could affect the U.S. and more on truck drivers today on the Brass Bell podcast. Yesterday, the Dow Jones Industrial Average closed at 36,319, which was down about 112 points, or about negative 0.31%. The S&P 500 yesterday closed at 4,685, or about minus 16.45 points, or about 0.35%. The Nasdaq closed at 15,886, which is a 95-point loss, or about a 0.60%. The Russell 2000 closed at 2,427, which was a loss of 15 points, or negative 0.63%. 10 stocks that were trading high volume yesterday. We had Upstart Holdings, which closed at $313, which closed at a loss of $20, or about 6.24%. Coinbase Global Incorporated yesterday closed at $357, which was an increase of $3.47, or about a 1% gain. DoorDash Incorporated closed at $192, which was a $1.14 loss, or about 0.59%. I think it's called Fubo TV, closed at $33.13, which was a 54-cent loss, or about negative 1.6%. NEO closed at $40.64, which was a loss of $2.56, or a negative 5.93%. Unity Software closed at $171.63, which was up $8.53, which was a 5.23% gain. General Electric closed yesterday at $111.29, up by $2.87, or up by 2.65%. Tesla closed at $1,023.50, which was a loss of $139.44, or about a 12%, or was down about 12%. Luminar Technologies closed at $20.12, up by $2.62, or about 14.97%. Doximity Incorporated closed at $76.51, up by $5, or up by 7.68%. So the stock of today, the ticker is V, as in Victor, or as in Visa, as what this company is, and everybody is very familiar with this company. Visa is, of course, a credit card company. So they offer credit card companies the cards to use, and very strong business model. Price at close yesterday was $213.39. The trend has been bearish for the past 3 months. So, and honestly, I feel like Visa and MasterCard and those kind of companies have kind of maxed out their growth opportunity. So investors are not as excited about these kinds of companies as they used to be. And let's see, the basic PE ratio here right now is 39.16. Market cap is $453 billion, and they do offer a dividend of 0.58. So there are some IPOs happening, new ones that are happening. There's about like 3 of them, and I still have to read all of the financials on those. So that should be coming to a podcast to you soon, but we'll just have to see. It's a couple of interesting companies that you definitely wouldn't see in like 5 years ago. So kind of interested to see what they have to offer. I did start reading about one yesterday, and it was very interesting. But I should be sharing that with you guys tomorrow. So we'll see how that goes. And see if that is a company worth investing in. I'll give you all of the news and all of the opinion on that tomorrow. Now, some important news tomorrow, some important news that I found that is kind of alarming is the Federal Reserve says that China's real estate problems could spill over to the U.S., and this comes courtesy of CNBC. And it kind of goes over to say that the stress of the real estate sector in China could strain the United States as well. Just because of the size of China's economy and financial system and the trade routes that we have with them. There's a quote by Paul Christopher reported in here that says, the nexus of the Fed's concern is that China's real estate activity is slowing, but developers have large debts and some of them are diversified into other areas of the economy. So that means is that, these real estate companies have invested in these real estates that they couldn't afford, and so they have debts and they've invested in other things in the economy, and that could affect us as well. So we'll just have to see on this. It goes on that, because of this, China's economy is slowing, and that could spill over to us in general. We'll just have to see. And see about that. I know, we are highly dependent on China, and, well, don't think we should be, but we are. So we do have to keep an eye on what's happening in China, because it could have possible ramifications with us. Now, I did want to spend another moment talking about trucking, because it is kind of more of an immediate problem to the everyday American. And the New York Times has an article about this that I wanted to reference. This says that a report last month by the American Trucking Association estimated that the industry is short 80,000 drivers, a record number, and one that the association said could double by 2030 as more and more truck drivers retire. Supply chain problems stem from a number of factors, including an extraordinary surge in the demands for goods and the factory shutdowns abroad, but the situation has been compounded by a shortage of truckers and deteriorating conditions across the transportation sector, which made it even harder for consumers to get things they want when they want them. And I think that trucking is kind of a dying industry. And we need to find, the way to solve these things is through innovation. And I remember not too long ago, it was Tucker Carlson talking about the concerns of people having their jobs being taken from them by innovations of technology. But I find that if people could do the same job in other ways, that makes it easier, and that we have less demand for actual people in them. Like, for example, he mentions truck driving a few times when he was doing an interview. I don't remember where this was at. If I do find it, I'll pin it in the comments below. But he was talking about how truck driving, that could be automated out of existence, and have thousands of workers in the truck driving industry. And while that is true, we're having a huge shortage that is affecting the rest of the economy right now, and I feel like this could easily be solved by automation, and this doesn't have to be all at once where we like make a self-driving truck. Boom! Now truck drivers are out of existence. I don't think that's how that's going to work. Realistically, I think it's going to be one step at a time, such as like phone lines, for example. Like the phone, like there's been numerous jobs that have been replaced by technology, and that's just going to continue to happen. And these other people that were displaced by technology either a retired or b found a job doing something else. And so it does it hurt some people in the short term, yes, but it does benefit everybody else in the long term. So, and then just on technology outmoding particular jobs, like this job is excuse me, the truck driving job. It looks like it's been outmoded and out of it's not very high. It's super high demand, but not very many workers are meeting that demand because of the industry itself. Um, Later in the article, it talks about that. Let's see if I can find it. It talks about how they just need more truck drivers, but there's not enough to meet the demand, and that the working conditions are just not what. Yeah. Here it begins. This article begins with the story about Michael Gary, who started truck driving, and here he has a quote that I feel like encompasses the what the job is actually like. And it said, "I had no personal life outside of driving my truck," and it just seems that that trucking is just the working conditions of trucking aren't what people are looking for in a good reliable job. But there are some people who absolutely enjoy it, and I feel like this is where innovation can really take place. For example, Tesla has a or is planning on coming out with their version of a semi, and I think that's gonna happen. They're starting production in 2024. Let me just check that really fast. And it looks like a beautiful semi truck. If I saw that on the road, I'd be jealous. And let's see. It says this comes from the businessinsider.com. It says Tesla said that the electric big rig will launch in 2022. So next year is supposed to be launching. And that was in June 2021. So this year. So that is something to look at. And they do have the self-driving option on these trucks. And I feel like the future of trucking is actually going to be a fleet of trucks doing self-driving with one person in front, either watching, being there for safety reasons, or being there to drive while the other ones follow behind. So I do think that is the future, rather than one truck going one place. And then and this is like a real, like, if we only needed like 10% of truck drivers here, it actually matches the retention or the turnover rates. It says that in this article, the New York Times article, it says trucking companies also have struggled to retain workers. Turnover rates have reached as high as 90% for large carriers. So if we only need like 10% of truck drivers, I mean, 90% of them are quitting anyways after a short amount of time, and they could do things that better match their lifestyle, and if the 10% love it, then the 10% can have those jobs. So I feel like Tucker Carlson is talking about specifically truck driving, and how that's a huge concern for some middle class people that the economy has quote unquote forgotten. I don't think that's the case looking at these numbers. Now again, this is only one article, but like I've read many saying the same thing, that people just don't want to do this anymore, and that that this industry is just not what people want in their life. They don't want to be tied up on the road constantly. And so I feel like this is going to go forward with what I said about Tesla and the fleets. But we'll just have to keep an eye on this and see where the innovation goes and see what exactly happens in the future. Now, obviously, this isn't going to the Tesla Semi isn't going to fix the supply chain issue right away. The Biden administration is trying to fix the problem, but their solutions have been not effective. If you remember, a couple of weeks ago, Joe Biden, the president of the United States, said that the port would begin to open for 24 hours, but the problem is that's not the problem. The problem is of these truck drivers that aren't there to pick up the shipping crates from the boats. So that's kind of a problem. That didn't do anything to fix anything. So we'll just have to see if they do anything else. Hopefully they will, and that this can be resolved in time for Christmas. But I'm not seeing that right now, so please do your Christmas shopping now, and don't wait last minute, because there might not be anything last minute. Well, that's it for us today. So if you have any questions, please comment them down below, and thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great day.